Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, ladies. Come on in. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's Girl Chat Weekly. It's an hour earlier than normal, but I have not been feeling my best, and I want to get to my baby and get us healthy. So I wanted to come on for our 60 minutes for us, by us, with us, about us. So come on in. Tonight is supposed to be the grand finale of our Girl Chat Weekly Book Club, our first book, Girl Mogul. This book has been amazing. We're going to talk about chapter 11 tonight. I don't even know if I can bring in chapter 12 because 11 is talking about money, girls. We're going to have the money conversation. And if you happen to be watching and you're not a woman, that's okay. We can't tell anyway. But come on in. We are not going to discriminate. Y'all can come on in because money is a discussion we probably should all have. We can all be better stewards with our money, with our spending. And the author Tiffany Pham, Pham, that wrote this wonderful book that I do not own, but I purchased it at the $1.25 Tree Tabernacle of Glad Tidings, Great Joy, Donuts, and Dancing. Right? So it was a great investment of $1.25 plus some tax. It's talking about her journey on becoming a girl mogul, her aspirations, her dreams. The book is broken down into 12 chapters, but 3 sections: community, commitment, and confidence. And that those 3 words, you can tell throughout the book that was her premise, because she taught us the necessity of being confident. How are you going to be a mogul of anything if you don't exude confidence? Me being a paparazzi consultant, see how I slid that in there? Shameless plug. This show tonight is sponsored by Polished on Purpose Paparazzi. I am a consultant. I've been so for 3 years. Be sure to follow me on Facebook on my Polish on Purpose VIP page. This month, by the way, since we talk about business, this month is Customer Appreciation Month. November is Customer Appreciation Month. And to appreciate our customers, what Paparazzi has done is this month, if you spend $35 or more online, key phrase online, then you will receive this beautiful girl here is the free gift for a $35 or more purchase. She's iridescent, she's blingy, she's gorgeous. This is your free gift if you spend 35 bucks or more on my website, which I will put in the comments for you to see. All right. Second promotion is joining paparazzi has never been this easy. $20. $20, y'all, gets you a membership to paparazzi, which you can use a couple different ways. You can build a team like I'm building. You can just purchase wholesale price jewelry and just build your own jewelry repertoire. That's fine. You can make it a side hustle and sell, and grow. You can do that. So 2 promotions this month for Customer Appreciation Month. The $35 or more online purchase gets that beautiful girl back there, or you can join and get a party permit for 20 bucks to become a consultant. You get a replicated website right away that you can start promoting online and get customers to buy from you. And then by next month, you can be getting commission checks. Yes. So it's a beautiful thing. This month is exciting. And it's Giving Tuesday. Yes. So I want to give away a few pieces of jewelry tonight. So stay tuned because you may be the one that wins. So I want to make sure my comments are working. So if you're out there, I want to check my comments. I'm going to tag a few people and make sure my comments are working. So tonight's discussion is, it may be our last one, it may not, because this book, woo, honey, this book selection is something else. But tonight's discussion, chapter 11, It's called Taking It to the Bank. And let me just say, I am quoting this book. I don't own this book. It is not a book written by me. I use the Fair Use Act to be able to discuss it, give commentary. Um, and that way I'm not infringing upon any copyright issues. But this book is by Tiffany Pham, Pham. If you Google the word mogul, her name and her company comes up. That's a real person, and she wrote this book. It's a spectacular read. Okay. So if you are coming in, give me some comments so I can know that you all are out here. Because last time y'all was commenting, I couldn't see nothing. And that happened to me earlier as well, during my prayer times. I don't know what Facebook is doing why I can't see comments, but I'm going to all my pages to make sure I'm not missing anything. So hopefully I'm seeing all that I'm supposed to see. All right. So, chapter 11, Taking It to the Bank. This is the chapter where the author talks about money. And I was supposed to come on Monday and do Power Hour about budgeting, but this is going to be a good prelude into a money conversation. And maybe that's a sensitive discussion for you. I came from a house where we didn't talk a lot about money, but being a kid and being an inquisitive kid and a kid that paid attention, I knew that money wasn't always plentiful. And I could tell by the tone of discussion in the home, even when my parents were behind closed doors, that money had been tough and had been, a sore spot, even in my parents' marriage growing up. And I know from a fact, from being a wife, that in a marriage, money can cause a rift between a couple if you don't have a really good solid foundation. So let's start. The author begins this chapter saying, girls may run the world, but we need to know how to handle money. We can't just run the world without knowing how to handle money, girls. Beyonce made that little cute song, Who Run the World, Girls? That's cute. Beyonce got a bunch of money. So, and she running the world in her own world because of all that money and that good money that Jay-Z has. So to even run a business, to even consider opening a business, even to consider just going into an entrepreneurial project, there's going to need to be some education about money. And I know many of us may not come from wealthy homes. That's fine. And maybe that was not a table talk about money and finances, but we're going to talk about it because it's necessary. So, y'all give me some comments so I know y'all out here, because I don't want to miss my comments, because last time I missed all the comments. So, these are the things that the author talks about as women that we need to know: how to earn money, how to manage money, how to invest money, and how to save money. Now, I will be very transparent. I know how to earn it. In terms of a 9 to 5, I definitely know how to do my job, how to show up at my best and perform. That's not an issue for me. Money management, I am getting better at. Um, I can say that I am learning. I don't make all the best financial decisions, but in my life and in my experiences and with my family, um, it's good to have money mentors. I'll say that. It's good to be able to be transparent enough to say, I'm not the best with money, I need help. So whether you invest in courses or whether you have someone in your family that you can talk to, um, and that knows how to save money, that knows how to budget. We all need someone like that in our circle. What is the point of having a lot of money at our disposal if we don't know how to manage it? That's how people, like some of the celebrities who end up, making $1 million deals and $1 million records, and they end up having nothing at the end. That's probably why. And I love me some Hammer. Hammer, if you're watching, no shade. But MC Hammer had 200 people in his entourage. So can you imagine getting a gig to perform at some stadium somewhere? But you got 200 people you got to get airplane tickets for. You got to get hotel rooms. You got to feed them. So if your expenses outweigh what you're being paid for the gig, Hammer, you already belly up. You already belly up. This is not gonna work. And sometimes I know people gravitate to us because we have money, but we got to be smart in our stewardship, smart in our spending and investing. I will be honest, that type of language is foreign to me. We didn't talk about investing because we didn't really have anything left to invest growing up. It was enough for us to be able to cover the expenses of rent and lights and gas and phone bills and food and cars and car notes and car insurance. In many homes, there isn't enough to invest unless we learn how to handle money, learn how to make certain cuts and prioritize. Because if you spending 20 bucks a month on Netflix, Hulu, Roku, Tubi, Ubi, Snoopy, that adds up. So some of that stuff that we subscribing to is already taking a lot of money from us. Like if you can afford to do that and all your bills is paid, that's different. But if you're having money troubles, the first thing people will probably tell you to do in the financial world is assess where your money is going. It's called a budget. What are you spending your money on? On one side of the paper, put your expenses on here. On the other side, your income, and you're comparing debt to income ratio. That's financial talk. It ain't comfortable, but if I plan on being wealthy and plan on owning several businesses, I have to get used to talking the talk and understanding money management and saving. For some of us in our community, we don't always think we should save. We want to live for the day. Why should I put away money? I got to reward myself. I got to, I want to treat myself for working so hard. And that's a beautiful thing. That's okay. But I'm telling you now from experience, when I have gone to financial classes, they talking about having a rainy day fund. A rainy day can come. A rainy life can come. I would have never imagined I wouldn't be working in my comfortable job. I wouldn't have my health I was used to. And when those two things were gone, we were left in, I'll just say, some financial uncertainty. I'm putting it real lightly and I'm being sensitive in my conversation tonight. But having that rainy day fund, and they say it's good to have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up. That way, if you and or your spouse lost a job due to sickness, illness, even death, you could at least pay your bills for that period of time while you rebuild. The rainy day fund is for the unexpected stuff. We're not talking about stuff you can predict. Who predicts being streamlined? When a company gets up one morning and starts to having meetings about downsizing and COVID, who would have thought COVID would just come in and wreck the business industry, multiple industries, and leave many companies non existent? Therefore, job loss. Therefore, people losing homes. Therefore, cars getting repossessed. Therefore, COVID was an avalanche effect of change financially. So, the author wants us to start talking about saving money at an early age with our children. How many of you are doing that with your kids? Whether you have small kids, whether you have teenage kids, are you taking the time to discuss money with your children? When my daughter was younger and we hit some trouble financially being a single mom, and I'll tell you, I was never one to go crazy during Christmas time on gifts. I've never done that. And I don't know whether it was because I didn't think that was smart, maybe. I was not going into debt over Christmas. I would give my daughter her necessities for sure. She would get clothes, boots, shoes, coat, all that automatically. But I started asking her, what is the one thing that you really want? And when she got to the age of being able to use a computer, she wanted a MacBook or she wanted a laptop. Okay, fine. Or she wanted the latest iPhone. Okay, fine. So I knew my budget and I knew I was pretty much by myself, raising her, not by myself in terms of not having a family, but I'm her financial support. So I wasn't pretending to be rich and going debt into debt and spending money and maxing out credit cards for Christmas, for the tree to be full of gifts. That's never been my thing. Um, I've seen people do that, and then come January, their rent is still due, the lights getting cut off, but you still got a bunch of gifts for your child. That's not smart. So the author is saying we have to spend more time teaching about money management. And my question to you in my listening and viewing audience, who taught you? Where did your education come from when it came to money? How to earn it, how to manage it, how to invest it, how to save it? Have you been taught that? Or did you have to pretty much on your own as you got older, kind of figure things out as you went through life? And it's no shade to my parents or anybody else's. I can remember growing up, I remember my family, well, my mother in particularly liked to look and dress very nicely. She loved going to Talbot's, Crowley's, Winkleman's. I'm dating myself, those old school stores where they sold beautiful women's clothes. Um, and she worked a professional job, which warranted her dressing up, dressing professional. I get that. However, when you are at a point where you're spending more than what you can afford to spend on clothes, shoes, coats, whatever, then you may have a problem. Then it's a matter of prioritizing. Okay. Then you have to worry about, are my priorities straight? Y'all give me some comments so I can know y'all here, because I am not seeing anything on this screen. Um, so as a single mother, having to rely on at points governmental assistance, charities, I was very honest with my daughter. I don't have a lot to spend. If there's any one particular gift you want, I will do my best. Or if I couldn't do it, I linked up with organizations that will help people like myself. Because living where I lived, after we moved from the city into the suburbs, their income brackets are different. So while in Detroit, I didn't qualify for any governmental assistance. They laughed at me. When I moved to Kenton or Westland, the average family made about 50 grand a year. I didn't make that when I first moved out there. So that made me considered low income. Plus, I didn't have a two-parent household for my child then. So because of that, I qualified for other charitable gifts. Even my daughter's school, um, when they found out there was a need, we ended up with gift cards to Justice Clothing Store, gift cards to Myers, gift cards to Kroger. And don't be ashamed. Let me say this. Let me help somebody today. If you are in a place of financial uncertainty, please don't be embarrassed to get help. Hold your head high. Everyone needs someone sometimes. So, my thing is, don't feel as though you are alone or that you're less than because you need help. Please don't feel that way. Um, we all, but and that's what help is there for. We pay taxes to be able to help families in need. The whole welfare system is built for those in need. Now, COVID hit and everybody was in need, and it made it a little harder to get help because so many people needed help. But I just want to encourage people, just because you are considered low income, maybe you are on disability and you're on a fixed income, please don't feel as though you're any less than human, uh, and feel embarrassed. Don't. But I will say, even if you, and I posted this today, even if you are in the low income bracket, that doesn't mean you shouldn't teach your kids about money, because it can change. Your situation can change. And you want your children to understand the importance of money management and prioritizing and proper spending. Now, if you're going out and getting your nails done and your lights are cut off, or you going out and you buying all this crazy stuff and y'all don't have food in the house, then you're not teaching them the right thing. And I know women, we love to have our nails done, our hair done. We love buying clothes. That's cute. When you have a family, your children should be looking nice and have clean clothes. I will go without for my daughter. I wouldn't have no problem, not even a second thought. Okay. So the author is talking about in her particular culture, uh, the children at some point took care of the parents. She's of Asian culture. So in their particular culture in their family, at a certain age, the parents move in with the children. The parents help with the grandkids, help with home life, the household running, because eventually they know that those kids will be their caregivers. That's their culture. And it makes sense. If you have an elderly parent or parents, or even a sickly parent, and they need care, and you're able to give it to them, then of course, why wouldn't you? But this is their culture. And her culture, she says in the book, is for multiple generations to live together. That saves money right there. That means you got mama, daddy, grandmama, kids all in one house. Now, I don't know how that would work for some of us, because some of y'all don't even like y'all in laws like that. But it makes sense to put your resources together. Many cultures do that. You ride by some of these homes in Dearborn, some of these homes in these beautiful areas, and you see 200 cars, because culturally, some communities choose to cohabitate together and pool their money together and get a big, beautiful home, as opposed to paying mortgages in 20 different areas. It's smart. It's smart. So, how to earn money. Now, back in the day when I was in high school, oh, we're going to go way back, honey, to the 1990s. We had what was called co op. I don't know if children have that in school. Co op were paying jobs. Votech was the educational part, but co op was actual jobs. And my job was at the school center building, which was downtown off of Warren and Woodward. I think it's a Wayne State owned building now, but it was the hub for Detroit Public Schools. So I had a receptionist job. The co op program sent us out to different companies and businesses to apply for jobs. I'm not even sure if we had to go through a full interviewing process, but it placed us at different places. I worked for the office of Clement Sutton. I'll never forget. This was my first job, y'all. It was the Office of Financial Controls. Mr. Sutton was the chief operating officer for Detroit Public Schools back in the 90s. And my job was to answer phones. I did faxes. I remember delivering mail, sorting mail. And that was my first job. It paid minimum wage, which I think minimum wage was between $4 and $6 an hour. Ooh, how far we've come, honey. So I got that job in my junior year. I was able to keep it through my senior year and just prior to starting college. So that is where I learned my first, uh, I guess, having my own paycheck. My mother had taught her children, myself and my sister, how to type. We would do role plays, answering phones, because my mother, her philosophy was, while the other kids are out playing, my children are going to learn how to have a skill. So we had a skill. We learned how to answer phones. We learned how to pretend to be in the office. And that was how she helped solidify in her daughters being able to always have a job somewhere. That was her main thing. No matter what happens, I want you to have a job somewhere. And I'm grateful for her doing that. It taught us discipline. It taught us to be on time, if not early going to work. It taught us how to speak over the phone, or how to speak, period. My mother was really big on pronouncing and enunciating your words and syllables because she wanted to prepare us for business. And I appreciate that. I do. I really do. And looking back on that, it made a difference in my life, in how I operate on a job, in how I speak in any conversation. So we had a co op job. And with co op, it was high school students being sent out to different jobs, placed in different positions, and that was our way of transitioning into adulthood, being responsible for money. We got a paycheck. Um, we cashed our check either at the local bank or liquor store. I don't know how we did it back then, but we cashed our checks. Um, and we didn't have any major bills, but our beeper bill. Who all had a pager out there? Didn't have no cell phone at first, but I had a whole pager. So I had my pager bill. I got my own hair done. At that time, I wasn't getting my nails done. I did my own nails. I wanted to save my money. I was thinking about $80 a week, and that wasn't bad for a high school student. And I will offer my parents, even if it was to take them to dinner, buy a couple of groceries. And here is the conversation I want to have tonight. As your children are earning their own money, let them help with something around the house. Even if it's just a couple of groceries, even if it's just putting something on the cable bill, it teaches them how to be responsible for something. So parents and grandparents, are y'all out here wanting to spoil these kids and not have them do anything or pay for anything? That's not helping them in the long run. It's not helping them at all. It's not. The more you have discussions about money, if you're giving them allowance, are you talking to them about giving to the church? Are you talking to them about saving some of it? Because you want to introduce those discussions about what to do with money. When you start allowing kids to just frivolously spend and not have no thought, they're going to take that into their adulthood and into their marriages and relationships. So we're responsible for teaching our children money management. So, ways to earn money besides co-op jobs. We did babysitting back in the day. We did well, I know now people do dog sitting. We didn't know nobody that had too many dogs back then. So babysitting, dog sitting, maybe doing some little odds and ends, helping people when they go to the grocery store, putting up groceries, moving furniture. There's different ways for young people to earn money. Now you got Uber, Lyft. So those of you that have cars, as young people, your kids have cars, they now get to do stuff like Uber and Lyft. We didn't have all that growing up. We didn't. So we did little things around the house to bring money. But these are the kind of discussions that the author says we should have with our children. So I was thinking, this is just me thinking, when we go to high school, I don't know if they still have co-op and VOTEC, but we need to make sure our kids have a transitional period of learning between school and becoming an adult, which really means parents, we have to be their teachers. I would even say I wish churches had financial literacy courses for families as a whole, whether it was kids, parents, men, women, business owners. We need to have more discussion about financial literacy and about financial freedom. Now, and for example, when Gabby was talking about, getting her own place a couple years ago, and I had to tell her, no, besides having your monthly rent, when you move in somewhere, you got to have a security deposit, first month rent, last month rent. You got to be able to sign up and get lights on, gas, water, sewer, in case they have that. You got to be able to eat every week, every day. So when you teach your children what it takes to be independent, write down the expenses. Just look at your own bills and write down average what you spend per month on your mortgage, what you spend per month on your lights, gas, food, groceries, gas for your car. Write that kind of stuff down and have these table talks with your children. They need to see what it takes to run a household because guess what? One day they are going to run their own household. If you all are commenting and I can't see y'all, please forgive me because my comments once again are not working and I don't know why. But I will make sure I fix it before my next show. So, my thing is when you have children, they're watching you. Even if you don't have financial discussions, our children are watching us. In our household, a lot of our furniture was rented. And again, this is no shame to my family. They offered places like Rent a Center, Aaron's Rental. Now it's called Progressive, y'all. And Ashley's Furniture. Be careful, honey. That ain't nothing but Rent a Center in disguise. So that rent to own thing allowed people to have nice furniture, washers and dryers, bedroom sets for so much money per week, as opposed to dropping 2,000, 3,000 down all at one time. So, and that's good if you can pay it off in that first 90 days. They don't want you to, but that's when you avoid all that extra interest. Interest is what's eating us in any kind of financial transaction, whether you're buying a car, buying a house, buying furniture, buying whatever. That interest rate is what's allowing the company to make money off of us. So when you go to rent something, you're paying per week, and by the time you're done paying for that for a year or two, you have bought your furniture 2 and 3 times over. 2 and 3 times over, you have bought your furniture. So in my childhood, I learned that I did not want to do that. Why? Because if you miss a weekly payment too many times, guess who's going to be at your door to come and get your furniture? Honey, they will take your washing machine and dry while you're using it, honey. Dump your little clothes out or not dump your clothes out. Take your wash and dry with your clothes in it. And next thing you know, your stuff is gone because you missed a payment. So while it may be easy and convenient to rent stuff like that, trust me, in the long run, you have paid for those products and those items 5 to 10 times over. And it would have just been better to just wait, get something secondhand for right now, or furnish one room at a time instead of giving these companies thousands of dollars in interest. I mean, thousands of dollars in interest. So I can remember being told, don't answer the phone, don't answer the door, don't do this, don't do that. Why? Because if we answer the door, they'll know that we're here. And then they'll try to come in and take our furniture and take our washer and dryer and take our bedroom set. Problem, 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 problem. If you all are commenting and I don't see it, please forgive me. We were having some kind of a glitch, but we're going to work on fixing that. I've had that for my last show. So y'all forgive me if y'all commenting. Thank you for sharing, Kim. Let me see if I can find y'all comments. But in seeing that happen and being told, don't answer the phone, don't answer the door, what did that create? Fear. It created fear in our home. Hi, sister. Thank you for joining me. And I didn't want that fear with my baby. And I'm not knocking people who rent furniture. I'm not trying to shade y'all at all. I'm just saying back in the day, we did it so much that we were held captive. It kept us bound. Yes, it gave us a chance to rent to own stuff that we couldn't afford outright. But at what cost though? Don't answer the phone. Don't open the blinds. Somebody will see us. I said to myself, when I get grown, I don't want to live this way. I would rather live in my home with only one room of furniture, one good couch and one good bed, one spoon and one plate, than to not be able to answer the door, not be able to answer the phone, and live in fear. It just, for me, it just wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it to me to be able to have a house full of furniture But if you ever miss one weekly payment, somebody is coming to get it. It don't matter how many payments you done made up to that point. You miss one payment, miss two payments. They give you a little bit of a grace period, but if you miss too many payments, they're going to confiscate your furniture. It's like a car. They will come and repo your couch, which you own it. So as I got older, my prayer was, Lord, I don't want to have to do that. I did rent a TV when I first got my apartment. I did. I went and got a TV. I think I got maybe a dining room table set, but I paid it off in that first 90 days. I wanted to avoid that interest rate because the interest is what's making you pay for stuff 2 and 3 times, y'all. And I want us to have our children do better than we did. And we got to educate them. Now, if you go in there and you can pay it 90 days, beautiful. 90 days, same as cash, go and pay it off and then not have that interest, that's okay. Same thing with credit cards. I put a post on my page today. We thought credit cards was gifts from God. I applied for my first card. I will never forget this. A Lane Bryant card. Lane Bryant sent me. They didn't give me the card at first. They gave me the number. You call the number, see if you approved. Well, the card comes later, but here's your credit card number. I couldn't even get the card soon enough. I had already went and got me, my mama, and my grandmother 3 matching palazzo pants outfits. It was terracotta brown, and we had matching outfits. Each outfit had to be $40. The credit limit wasn't but 200. I'd already spent 120 and ain't even got the card. We thought credit cards was miracles from Zion, honey. That ain't free money. And we standing up in testimony service, giving honor to God who's ahead of my life. Thank God for Capital One. Listen, you better pay Capital One. You better pay Credit One. You better pay Finger Hut, Columbia House. But that just showed back in the day we did not have the financial education that we probably should have because we got our hands on the credit card and we went crazy and maxed that sucker out before the car even came. And that's making these companies stay rich. Yes. And don't let nobody get a $1,000 credit limit. Baby, they about to buy furniture for everybody in the family. We just was so happy to get something. And these companies took advantage of us. But now, fast forward, here we are in 2023, where everybody is teaching us how to do credit cards the right way, how to treat our credit scores, and how to Credit Karma makes me anxious. Every time that thing come up on my phone, I'm like, what now, Credit Karma? Y'all get on my nerves. I mean, I'm building my credit now, but I just would get nervous. Like, I don't even want to look at it because the wind blow wrong and the credit score gonna go down. It's certain stuff. And we gotta master this. It's certain stuff that drives your credit score up fast. I'm learning about that. Getting rid of a collection, I was able to go up 25 points instantly. Certain stuff you do brings your score down. The crazy part is even paying off certain debts that you think would make your score go up, it doesn't right away. They want you to be in debt. They want you to be in, and they'll penalize you for paying off stuff early. Early penalty costs for paying off debt. See, the world wants you to be in debt. That's the thing. We have to be careful because these companies want you to owe them. They want you to pay just the minimum credit card payment. Just pay $10 a month. Just pay $21.99 a month. The minimum. That minimum ain't covering even the interest hardly. And don't mess around and do a cash advance on a credit card. Baby, that advance fee will show up on your statement every month if you don't call them and tell them get it off of there. I did one cash advance. I didn't forget it. And I did it to pay my tithes. I used my credit card at the altar to pay my tithes, and I did it as a cash advance with the machine, whatever. That thing hit me with interest every month for about a year and a half. until I thought to look at my statement like, why is this? What is this charge on my bill? What is this? Pay attention to your credit card statements. Some of these companies are sneaky. And even before that, decide what the best companies are to get a credit card with. Some of these fly by night, first premiere, second premiere, debut, whatever. Some of these cards are only going to give you a $300 limit. The annual fee is $100. The semi-annual fee is $75. And then the monthly maintenance fee is $10. By the time you get the card, you already owe them $200. We got to be smart. And I'm saying I'm not the smartest when it comes to this, but I have made enough mistakes, y'all, to learn that I got to do better and pay attention. Many of us are living off credit cards. And maybe that's because of the way your finances are right now, but it would behoove you to find a way to come up off of that. Because if you keep paying them off just to max them back out, pay it off, max it out, pay it off, max it out, you're just giving these credit card companies money. The author wants us to find ways to earn money, manage money, invest money, save money. That's chapter 11 of our book, ladies. So we owe it to ourselves to spend some time having more dialogue like this about money. I'm gonna give you an example, and it's maybe a little personal, but we're gonna talk it through. So say you're dating, ladies, and you meet a man and you like him. He's real cool. He seems to be your no match, but he has 5 kids under the age of 18. That means most likely child support gonna hit that check like 40 going north before it even come home to you. That was a big area of tension in our home growing up because my papa had like 3 kids, maybe even 4, that were under 18. So the consensus was, why is all this money being taken out of the check? He got kids. You know, when you met him, he had multiple kids under a certain age. I ain't saying love shouldn't be your motivating factor. But reality is, when you get married, that child support gonna still be there for those children. And what happened in my family's case, one of my stepdad's children's mothers requested an increase soon as my parents got married. And she got it. Run tell that. Run tell that. So when you dating people, yeah, you may want to take some time, and I ain't trying to sound harsh, but you may want to look at their financial situation to see if this is something that you and them that y'all can handle. And I'm not knocking men that got kids. I got a baby my own self. But I'm saying when you have a bunch of kids and you're trying to get married and that child support is hitting that check for the brother, and now you got a kid together, it may hurt. It may hurt financially. So that means he is going to have to earn, maybe get an extra job to make up for that. That's a whole other show. A whole nother show. But in our home, finances was always an argument. I didn't want that for myself. I didn't want that for my life. I didn't want that for my child. I didn't want her scared to go toward the window, scared to answer the phone, whatever. Because I owe people. And speaking of owing people, be careful about how much money you borrow from people. Make a plan to pay it back that's reasonable, where you can pay it back and afford to pay it back. Now, I've had to borrow a transparent moment, but I am a person of my word. And I'm honest about my ability to pay it back. If I only can do 100 a month, 250 a month, and I can't start till next month, you got to be honest. That was the other part of growing up that I really felt uncomfortable with, about my family having debts to people. Now, when you need somebody 20, 30, 40 bucks, I get that. But if you borrowing hundreds of dollars to make ends meet, and you borrow from the same people, and then you're going around those same people bragging about the trips you taken or the new car you about to get. We got a problem. We got a whole problem. And y'all, if you all are commenting, please forgive me. My comments are not working again. I will respond to them when I get off here. I'm not going to be much longer because I'm taking care of my baby. That's not feeling good. We've been kind of under the weather. But it's the Bible even talks about being the lender and not the borrower, because there's a certain bondage that comes with borrowing all the time. And some people have become comfortable with always owing people. I am not that one. I'm going to be for real. I don't like owing anybody. It happens. But trust me, I'm trying to figure out the best possible way to pay my debts, especially when it involves family. These are your family members. Y'all stop borrowing from your family and running from them, or your friends. Don't do that. It's not fair. I have seen friendships be torn apart, family relationships be torn apart because of money. I don't want to always be known as the person that owes everybody. Some of y'all are comfortable with that. I'm just not. I'm just not. So, chapter 11, y'all, back to this book, is talking about, it's called Taking It to the Bank. And I would say avoid trying to keep up with the Joneses. Who are the Joneses anyway? Does anybody know who the Joneses are? We have gotten siloed, not siloed, but we have gotten obsessed, that's the word, with keeping up with other people. If this family got a new car, we want a new car. If this person in church got a new car, a new house, we want a new house. I've seen people literally go tit for tat in buying stuff because they want to be able to measure up to people's living. Stop doing that, and don't teach your kids how to do that. Live within your means. If you could only afford a Chevy, don't go get a Cadillac. I love my little Equinox. I'm gonna ride this thing till she don't ride no more. Trust and believe. And you see people going after these homes and cars that are way outside of their league. I would rather be in a cute little starter home in my Chevy and have my mortgage and my car note and car insurance paid up than to have somebody approve me for something huge and I end up getting it taken or losing it to foreclosure, losing it to repossession. Why? Just to be able to say I live here or I drive this? To keep up with who? That's not smart. And your children are watching you. We got to be better stewards with our money. Teaching our children how to save is critical. Teaching them how to prioritize and budget is critical. If your child wants a big ticket item, a game, or a certain kind of, um, even a car, talk about how you can partner with them to get it. Okay, I will go half, but you have to put your allowance to the side and save up. You got to do some odd jobs, extra chores. Give them some responsibility as well. Because if you don't, and you don't teach them how to budget, when they do get a little piece of money, they'll blow it. I watch these TV shows about how lottery winners end up poor again, how they've won millions of dollars but end up poor. One lady was bailing out her boyfriend out of jail and lost a lot of her millions. Then you got people who, when you win all this money, here come all these family members. You buy everybody a house, everybody a car, everybody got a boat. You ain't going to be able to help everybody either. Be prayerful and use discernment as far as who you're able to help with finances. Because some people out here will appeal to your heartstrings, honey, but have no intention on paying you back. None. I've seen it happen. They'll keep coming over and over. The more you giving, the more they asking. But not everybody has the intentions of repaying. Not everybody does. And when you have children and they're watching your spending habits, even when it comes to eating out at restaurants a lot, as opposed to cooking. Nowadays, you go to restaurants, you're going to easily spend 25, $30 per person, depending on where you go, times 3 or 4 y'all. Whereas you could have spent that money on a couple packs of chicken wings, a pack of hamburger, some hamburger helper, and you could have cooked for about a week. It's stuff like that that we should be showing our children the responsibility of money. Who don't want to go out and have a treat? I get it. But if you have a family and you got multiple mouths to feed, you may not be able to get crab legs every day for all of y'all. If you can't afford that, you may need to go to the market and get some food that you can prepare, and prepare a big pot of spaghetti that could last you for a few days. There's ways to cut costs. So this book in chapter 11 talks about saving money, earning money, investing money. I don't know much about investments. I'm starting to learn. Once I got close to the age of pension and everything, they start giving you classes. Even certain banks and credit unions offer free financial courses on retirement funds, 401ks, and Roths and CDs. Take advantage of those free classes. Learn about those financial terminologies that the rich talk about, you know, investments and stocks and bonds. Learn about it now. And you may say, girl, I ain't got but $10. But by faith, you're going to have your own businesses. So start learning about these things proactively. All right. I'm going to get ready to get off here, y'all. Again, if you are commenting, forgive me. I don't see them. I'm going to go back and respond to your comments. We will probably go over the final chapter next Tuesday. I kind of drew this book club out because each chapter was so full of so many good nuggets. So many good nuggets. But I just wanted to let you know, I thank you guys for following Girl Chat Weekly. This is our time of reflection, discussion. I didn't even pray, did I? I'll pray us out. This is our time of coming together, talking about things that affect us as women, um, parenting, money, health, wealth, fitness, relationships, all things girl chat. I normally come on at 8, but I came on early. I haven't been feeling the greatest today. So I'm going to go upstairs and get some rest after this. Be sure to check out my paparazzi website. I'm a whole consultant. And as I mentioned in the beginning, we are doing a promotion this month. It ends Thursday. Get your orders in online of $35 or more. This is the free piece you get when you spend $35 online. Ain't she pretty? So I'll put my link in the comments. Also, I am taking new people on my team all the time, honey. Join this month for $20 and make extra money. Get free jewelry, discounted jewelry. It's so much fun. But I'm going to get out of here. So your homework, ladies, if you haven't read chapter 11, go ahead and read that. And then we'll reconvene next Tuesday for chapter 12, Lord's willing and the creek don't rise. Announcements. I have a YouTube channel. Go over to YouTube and subscribe to Critical Conversations with LHG and hit the notification button, okay? Also, we are looking for independent recording artists to feature your music. If you have an album and you're an independent artist and you got some songs out and would love to have them showcased on Trailblazers Network on one of our shows, go ahead and email us at trailblazers with the Z radio@gmail.com. And we would love to connect with you about showcasing your independently owned music. All right. If you are a business owner, author, and you want to have your book, event, products featured on our podcast, same email address, trailblazers with the Z, radio@gmail.com. We love to have you come on as a paid sponsor, and we would talk about your business, your event, your book, or even have you on as a guest. We would love to do that. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Have a good evening. Don't forget to go to Facebook as well, Critical Conversations, and hit like and invite some people to watch on Girl Chat Weekly. I'll be back Saturday with my main show at 5 p.m. and I will post our topic. I love you all. We're going to pray and we're going to get out of here. Father, in the name of Jesus, oh, what a wonderful Savior you are. I thank you for this opportunity for me and my girls to come together for Girl Chat Weekly and talk about things that concern us, to talk about our health, our wellness, our our mental health, our physical health, parenting, love, relationships, God. I thank you that you have brought us from a mighty long way. I cover my sisters from the crown of their head, the soles of their feet, and everything in between, and we are healed. Thank you for giving us your son, dying on the cross for our healing, for forgiving us for our sin. Thank you for all of those who have businesses for us to get more customers. Bless us with resources how to be healthy and whole in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, y'all. I'm going to go reply to y'all comments now and figure out what this glitch is. I love you guys. Share. I'll talk to you soon. Good night.